Well, good day, everybody. I'm glad you could join me today. This here is just a quick video on a tutorial to make a rod holder. So right now I have a 10-foot, 6-inch PVC pipe. Now I cut off, I kept 8'2", and then I cut off the rest. All right, now I'll show you what pipe I'm using. So there you go, 6-inch. It's a BSP PVC. Okay, so there's the information. Okay, so what I'm using is my mouse sander, palm sander, and I will be giving a quick sand to the outside surface all the way around. Rough it up. I want to take the sheen off and all the markings off. Once I take all the sheen and markings and everything off, well, then it's going to be time to prep it and wash it with acetone and then paint her up. And I'm going to go a high gloss black, and then I'm going to dress it up to make it look like marble. And just to let you guys know, there's lots of videos online that'll show you how to do that. I'm not the first one to do that. There's a few people that's done it already, and I think it's pretty darn cool. So I decided to do it myself. So anyways, I'm not going to bore you with a whole bunch of sanding, but you can see the sheen, hopefully, right there compared to there. All right, make sure you remove the sheen. That way your paint will stick a lot better. Okay, so now it's got a couple coats of paint on her, and she's got a nice shine to it, nice gloss. I also did the inside of the tubes at both ends, but yeah, she's got a nice shine to her now. It's going to be great for probably 4 fishing rods, 5 fishing rods. Can't wait to get it finished up. Alright, so this is what I purchased for the end caps. So let's take a quick look at it. Okay, so this is everything unpacked. You have the information sheet. You got the mounting hardware. I may put heat shrink around the rods. I may paint it. I'm not too sure yet. But as far as the gray goes, I don't mind the gray, so I might just keep it gray. Okay, so right there's the end cap. Now this one here is the entry cap. It's got a place for a lock, but that's what I'm going to be using for my rod case. So once that tube is cured for maybe another 24 hours, I'll give it another paint job, and then I'll install the hardware. I'll bring you back when that's done. Alright, so anyways, my fishing rod storage tube is complete as far as the paint goes, but I just wanted to show you what I was using. Alright, so as the base coat, I was using the Krylon Fusion All-in-One 5 times stronger adhesive. It's gloss black. I put 3 coats, and then I also use for the accent color is that gloss smoke gray from Rust-Oleum. Oil base on that one there. All right, and I'll show you what the fishing rod tube looks like. So there you go. That's the tube there. Now, like I said earlier, my brush, the bristles are very firm, very hard, and I hardly put any gray paint on the brush itself. I just dip it in, clean the brush off, and then just radically dabber all over the place. And that's the effect there. Now that kind of turns into like a marble effect once it's dry. So now I'll let that dry for the next couple days because again, we have very warm weather. It's 28 Celsius, which is nice and warm. But anyways, I'm happy with the way it turned out. Once it's all dry, then I'll put all the end caps on and we'll take another look at the finished product. All right, time to get the mounting brackets prepped for mounting my fishing rod tube to my frame. And what I decided to do is use heat shrink instead of just painting it or covering it in electrical tape. So I ended up using a 1/2 inch heat shrink. I'm going to use my gun and I'm going to heat them up and shrink it down to see how it turns out. I think it's a lot better than just wrapping it in electrical tape or painting it. So I'm going to heat it up, shrink her down, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, I'll bring you back when they're done. Okay, so I completed both brackets. That 1/2 inch heat shrink, man, did it ever turn out nice. And as you can see, it passes through the brackets with ease. So it's going to work out pretty good. Now all I got to do now is put the end caps on the tube itself, secure it, put some caulking around it, and it'll be done. My rod holder will be complete. Then after that, I'll just mount it on the trailer. But anyways, yeah, so the brackets with the heat shrink, yeah, that was a hit. Turned out really good. All right, I'll get right back to you. All right, so now it's time to complete the rod tube, put on the end caps. Now, the end caps were pre-drilled. Mine were anyways. But I had to re-tap them because I'm going to use these rivets. They're 3/16 and they're 1 inch collar. So I just had to re-tap them. All right, so I also have double-sided Velcro for the simple reason is, yes, these here caps, both of them, have a foam insert. But what I'm going to do is put Velcro here, and then I'm going to put my own foam inside. Give it more of a cushion for when I'm traveling if the rods happen to slide up and down the tube. All right. Also, another thing is that the diameter of this in comparison to the tube it's got quite the play. I don't know if you can see that there, see? All right, so that's why I went with the 1 inch. Now I gotta, when I put it together and start to use the rivets to hold her down, I gotta make sure I do it uniform so that it doesn't, you know, sucker tight here and then I got a big gap on the bottom or something like that. Then I'll be filling that all in with clear caulking. All right, I'll get back to you when that's done. All right, so I completed the rod tube. The end caps went on pretty good, but I'll show you why you need the 1-inch rivets if you're going to use rivets. So you can see almost a 1/4 inch gap all the way around. All right, that's why I used the 1-inch. Now I'm going to take silicone and fill that right in. That's what it looks like. Both ends are the same. Now when you look inside, you can see where the rivets are, but there's no sharp edges whatsoever on that. Neither one of them. No sharp edges. And this is where you'll lock her up once you close it up. Put a padlock here. But anyways, all I got left to do now is put the silicone on it, fill her in pretty good, and then let it sit for I'll let it sit for probably 6-7 hours anyways before moving it. Okay, this is the brand of silicone caulking that I'm using. I made sure that it's clear. I guess you can use gray, black, or whatever you want, but I chose clear. So now it's time to fill them gaps and let it cure. All right. So the fishing tube is 100% complete. Silicone and all. Worked out pretty good. So now it's well sealed. So all that's left to do now is to mount it on the trailer. But I have a lot more work to do, so that won't happen today. But I'll bring you back for that. Anyways, turned out pretty good. I really like the way the paint job turned out, that's for sure. All right, just an update. I ended up checking out my video and noticed a couple of spots on my fishing rod tube that needed a little bit more gray. So I did that, and now it's been drying for about 4 days, and this is what it looks like. I'll bring you in for a final close-up. The end cap turned out pretty good. Filled it with silicone. That looks pretty cool, eh? Check that out. Yeah, it looks a lot better now that I completed the touch-ups. Looks more uniform. And the front cap. So yeah, I think it's a lot better now. Now it's complete. When it was out in the sun, I couldn't really tell where I lacked the gray accent color. It wasn't until I seen the video that I noticed a couple of spots that needed touch-ups. But anyways, this is a complete job now. So once again, thanks for dropping by, guys. You guys take care, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye now.